Oh.
I've seen your message, but I only received now, so I'm really sorry. So you kind of like 10 minutes. I was waiting for you, and I'm like, then, oh, okay. So she sent me the message like a while ago.
Yeah, I was just waiting, but yeah, technology, isn't it?
Samantha, thank you so much for accepting my invitation to do this. And I don't know if you are recording. If you are, you are very welcome. So I know that you have a YouTube channel as well. Or that
yeah, I'm not recording because I don't normally use Skype, Iolanda. Is it quite straightforward? Is it just, I'm just looking at it now.
It's a program that I have that Leon left it in here for me to call record, and so
it's recording now. So it's recording. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, so Samantha Baldwin. Did I pronounce correctly?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, once again, thank you so much for accepting my invitation, and you are very welcome to this YouTube channel. I know that you have a YouTube channel and you have done an amazing work. So a lot of the watchers, they know who you are, and but some they aren't. So I would like you to introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, I'm Samantha Baldwin, but you can call me. I'm known as Sam, and I'm a mother of two boys who I lost custody of in the family court system, and obviously that's why I'm here today on your channel, Iolanda.
Samantha, I know that you. Let me be honest with you. So first of all, I'm Portuguese. That's why my accent. My story has happened in England. At the moment, I am in Portugal, and my case has happened in 2016. And I think I always was aware of your name, Samantha Baldwin, like always. But life is always so busy, and because unfortunately there is so many cases, I never really put my time into your story. But I think I know that your case was big. You published a book, and now your name came back again on my Facebook or whatever it was, and someone shared with me that you have published another book. I put some time into your videos to saw your story, and I believe it's back to the 2014.
Yeah, well, that's when my sons first started to disclose that they were being abused by their father. That was December 2014.
Yeah, and this has happened in Manchester, right?
That's right. Yes. Although the family court, that was in Manchester, and then when we moved locations, the family court happened in Nottinghamshire. That's where I was living at the time. Later on, like a few years later.
Okay. All right. So obviously I would like to do some publicity to your books. It's amazing what you have done.
Thank you.
And I think probably we could go back to the beginning, and obviously you share whatever you want and whatever you can. I'm sure that probably in the books, that's where they can get more information. But let's go back to the beginning, please. I believe you are from Rochdale?
Rochdale, yeah, that's near Manchester, yeah.
Yes. So you had the baby in 2007 and another one in 2011, and then the couple separated. And back in 2014, then one of your child said that was abused by the father. Now, yes. As a mother, how can you even? I don't know. I don't even know how to express, because having a kid that is abused sexually and by the father must be the worst nightmare that a mother can have.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It was a horrific thing to hear, and having grown up in a normal family myself, I didn't have any knowledge of, sexual abuse, let alone ritual abuse, which is what it was, which is paedophile rings and lots of people involved in different rituals. It's basically a form of they do sexual abuse rituals, torture, mental abuse. It's and it goes on worldwide, and people try to cover it up all the time, but that's what it was. And I hadn't even heard of ritual abuse at that point. It was bad enough hearing that the father was a child abuser, a paedophile, let alone a satanic, a satanic ritual abuser. So yeah, it was, my life just shattered, just hearing those words spoken from, it was firstly my eldest son, and then my youngest son started to disclose. And
How old was the oldest one? The
he
oldest.
was 7 at the time, and my youngest son was 3.
And did the abuse that started when you were 7 or
Younger, because my eldest son said that his father would do things to him before he could even speak. That's how he articulated it. And because the worst thing for him, he was saying, his father used to say, if you ever tell anyone, you'll never see mummy again. So shortly after he disclosed, he was saying, will I see you again, mummy? Will I still see you? Because he was literally threatened for years of his life.
I'm sorry to tell you, I'm completely naive. So when did the father would do these things? When you were, for example, at work, when the kids, they were sleeping? How can he do rituals?
No, not while we were together, but that was because we separated when my youngest son was a newborn baby. We separated, so he had access to the boys alone. So what he did then was, I do not know, there was obviously opportunity. Prior to that, because my eldest son said he was doing stuff to him before he could speak, he must have been sexually abusing him from a young age. I don't know. The answer is I cannot know, but just from the disclosures that the boys said. But it all made, I never once disbelieved them, because I was always concerned about their behaviour. It never made sense. I didn't understand, being a mother who didn't, unfortunately, know about symptoms of sexual abuse. And really, I would inform anyone, even young people, teenagers, young women, young men, know what the signs are, because regrettably, I didn't know. And I didn't know that they were exhibiting those signs until after, and everything clicked into place.
Could you say some of them, please?
Yeah, most of it is emotional signs, because it's the behavioural signs. Anger, it can manifest as anger, not wanting to see the father. So whoever they're scared of seeing, well, they should always want to go with the father. It's their dad. If it's very concerning, if the child doesn't want to go with their dad, you have to ask why, or the mother, or any family member or friend. It's a big red flag. But yeah, there's all sorts of lots of warning signs. Are all in the back of my first book, Everything's Going to Be Okay. I put very long lists in there of physical and emotional signs and bedwetting, nightmares, things like that. There's lots of signs.
Yes.
Appetite.
That book you published in 2020, Everything is Going to Be Okay. And the subtitle is very interesting. Her first mistake was trusting him. Her second was trusting the state. Because once you see the things happening, once your children, they speak to you, you believe that the state is going to protect you and your children. So when you go to the police, you don't get the support that you believe you could get from the police, and you hear from the police horrendous things, like it doesn't look like a pedophile.
Yeah, I did. It was shocking, really. You expect police to hate paedophiles. We're given the wrong. We're misled about what police and the judiciary are like, because how we, after the interview of because my ex-husband was arrested after my eldest son's first disclosures. He was arrested, and then the police officer came around, and you could see that he'd been taken in by my ex-husband, because he said things like, he doesn't look like a paedophile, fathers have rights, his house was immaculate. So he didn't even bother searching his house. So it was just like, really, we should have escaped the country then. That should have been the first warning sign. But you just naively hope that they will start investigating properly. But no, it's a shambles, and it's Greater Manchester Police, who are well known for their kind of corrupt, and not investigating paedophile rings, grooming gangs, or rape gangs. Let's face it, that's what they are, rapist gangs. They just turn a blind eye.
Samantha, you did say that you never heard about those situations. Back in 2015, was on the internet the case of Hampstead Heath in London.
Yes.
Back then, did you heard about that on the internet?
My goodness, it was literally when I first saw that going around, it was a few weeks after my boys started to disclose, and I was like, oh my goodness, these children are saying the similar things as what my boys were saying. I remember it was so vivid, and I immediately believed those children as well. Children can just make up all these descriptions, of vivid descriptions. You can tell if they say, oh yeah, if they've been coached. I think you can tell with young children, but no, it's all, I do believe them.
Now, obviously, I repeat, you always answer whatever you want. In the case of the Hampstead Heath, there is words that stayed in my mind, and it is "Papa kills babies."
Yeah.
Did your children said anything similar to that?
Yes. My youngest son said that, and he was 3. I believe him.
Okay.
As shocking as it is, as horrendous as it is, I can't even think about that kind of stuff. But I just feel if I allow myself to think about what they must have witnessed, I can't. But I do believe them. And that's what my youngest son said.
Can I ask you what is the profession of the father of your children?
He worked in the carpet industry. Floor, like floors and type flooring, etc. So yeah, he was involved in that, and so was his father. It was a family-run business.
Do they have a very well-succeeded business?
I think so. Yes. Yeah. But I think he was involved in, let's just say, other things, because my eldest son said, "Daddy doesn't just do that. He does." He said something like he gets bad men to do bad things or something. So he talked about lots of money being exchanged and things.
Okay, so there is other business around.
Yeah, well, at that time anyway, but yeah.
Okay, that's interesting, because I was like who is the father then? Is he in a higher level of a profession? Has he been invited for a satanic ring? Does he come from the family? I don't know. I have these questions in my mind, because in Hampstead it seems that the father was the highest person of the satanic ring, and it did involve, it seems by what the kids they say, involves all the teachers, the parents of the children in the school. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I can't speak for other cases, but all I know is that when my boys disclosed, they were talking about lots of people, not the same amount as Hampstead children, but they talked about a lot of people, because it's like your world just turns around thinking, you go from just believing that most people are good into hearing about the level of men and women who were involved from all walks of life. So yeah, lots of people were named by my children.
It is because today I was speaking with my mum, and all of these stories, obviously for the majority of the society, it's hard to believe. And today I was watching a video that you made with Megan Fox, the journalist in America.
No, I've not done any videos with Megan Fox. I know who she is, but sorry.
Yeah, and
I'll take that back. I was thinking of Megan Walsh. Yes,
Megan.
Sorry, Iolanda.
Right. And that's all right. You and Megan was saying that she always had interest on the social services, CPS in America, because everyone in the society is always very interested in the rights of the children, on the rights of these, the rights of that. But when it becomes to the real rights of the children through the family courts, and if someone shouts that my child has been taken at birth, the society does not want to believe us. The
No.
society, they can't care less. Like, they prefer to believe, no, they are doing something, they have done something wrong.
That's so true, yeah.
So my question sometimes is like, why social services they are doing these? Because
Yeah.
there is a real interest behind, but when there is these satanic rings and they kill babies, they have to have babies. So they get babies from from somewhere, and unfortunately, I must say that I don't know where my baby is. Has been 8 years, and
I'm so sorry.
I don't know where he is. He has been taken with 5 days old,
I'm so sorry. That's just horrendous.
it's horrendous. It's horrendous, but most of society they prefer to believe that no, she has done something wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, people have been brainwashed from young to trust the authorities, that they know best. You know, and it's for people like us to show, actually, no, it's not true. It happens to normal, good families, and you know, it's probably a large proportion who didn't deserve to lose their children. Probably most, actually, when you really delve into it, there probably would be very few parents who would be that abusive that they deserve to have the children. Most are just normal families, and they've just had the children removed for care, for nothing. Well, you know yourself, just for doing nothing.
Yes, and I question so many times myself why they are doing this. Why? I know that the system needs criminals, and the way they grow criminals is having teenagers under drugs because they have been abused by the system. But I don't know. It must be a study that they are doing, or they have joy on destroying people's lives. I cannot understand why this is happening. But with these ritual satanic rings, and it seems it's so common because
Yeah.
there is so many people involved.
Mm.
I don't know. I was expecting that you would say that the father of your children is like a politician, or
No, I mean, the thing is, Iolanda, it's out. They come from different walks of life. These ritual abusers, Satanists, and they don't go around just wearing black and looking like you think a Satanist would look like. They hide in it's suits and overalls, as my friend Vicky says. They go from the council estate right up into the upper echelons of society and everything in between. They can come from all walks of life, and they can be men or women.
yeah.
And they present as being very friendly, well liked in the community, and very well networked as well, very well connected. And they will be extremely charming and friendly when you if you just met them on a superficial level. So yeah, we couldn't even begin to imagine how many there are, just walking the streets, because the fact that the more you look into it, like you said, it isn't common.
But
Sorry, it isn't rare. It's actually more common than we even care to imagine. And it would make sense as to why you can't get justice, because if they're strategically placed in different organisations, whether it be the doctors, social services, family court, police, covering all bases.
yes, so it seems as the main religion for the people that they are in power, and
Yeah.
have to get children for those abuse rituals. And I always say that it can exist criminals, but the main problem is that the majority of the people they allow the evil to persist. And when we bring these awareness to the people, they turn the blind eye. And sometimes even when I share videos like of the police stealing a baby from the mother, the majority of the people say, "Oh, I can't watch."
Yeah, yeah. And I they should just watch it, because I mean it's different if you've had it happen. It's very triggering. Like I know what happened, so I don't need to watch it, and it's too triggering for me because it happened to me. But I just, yeah, people need to just brave up and just watch it and just believe, what we're trying to expose, because the more and more unaffected people that actually start to listen and to care and to share the stories and our information, videos, etc., books and whatever, then the more people are going to wake up, because it has to be us who does it. It's down to people like you and me to expose it, but then it's others to
Yeah.
actually share as well, and just wake people up, because unfortunately they're not there to protect us. They're doing the exact opposite in the name of child protection.
Yes,
It's
yes,
actually inverted. It's
yes.
like inverted, as you know. It's
And I know for truth, like what I have done in Portugal, the change that I have created in people's mind. The people, they can say some parts. I know that some people, they say, she has done something. I don't believe it. But I did manage to come on the news in Portugal, and I managed to scream on TV and say my baby was kidnapped by the social services in
wow,
England. I was on the TV,
wow,
I was on the newspapers. I was the front cover of a politician magazine, the most important magazine in Portugal. I managed to get the president of Portugal in front of the TV when I spoke to him, so he could never say that, oh, I don't know anything about it. No, he does know, and he
yeah,
hasn't done anything about it. And I know that now even the immigrants in Portugal, they are aware of these situations. There is recently a case in Madeira, one of the islands in Portugal. They say that the baby died. They have not given the baby back to the mother. She has signed that they were going to do studies, and she gave the consent for them to do the autopsy of the baby. But it has been a couple of months now, and she has not seen the baby body. So she came to the TV asking, where is my baby girl? So
goodness.
so the people, they are very, uh, I think they are becoming more aware of these situations, that the system is doing something to the children. They're not child protective services,
Yeah,
and that more people, they are coming to public now, because allegedly the judges, they are the one that own the institutions of the children, the ones that they get money per child. So all of these
yeah,
situations, they are coming to public, and it's us that have to say it, because in England, if you approach a journalist, they are not going to speak because they are gagged.
yeah.
America, it seems they are more public.
True. Yes. Yeah.
But in Portugal, I think I did manage to break a bit of the stigma
Very good.
of the social services. That is only for mothers. They are on drugs.
Yeah.
They are prostitution. All those things. So I think I did manage to break that stigma on the
Good.
people. Um, but still, there is a lot to do. There is still a lot to do.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. And it's just making our voices louder, isn't it? And coming up with different ways of exposing it as well.
How old?
Yeah.
How old are your kids right now?
Um, my eldest is 16 and my youngest is 13.
Have you seen them?
No, but I get indirect video calls, so we keep in contact, like very rarely, but at least there is something still going.
How are they?
Well, obviously, I don't really know, because it's just a few minutes of a pre-recorded video, a couple of 2 or 3 times a year. But they look well, praise God. And they always pour their heart and soul into the videos that they make for me. So yeah, I just pray for the day when we're reunited, and I do have faith in a miracle that the father will be exposed properly and dealt with by the authorities properly, and that my sons will be returned to me.
You know if your children, do you know if they know that you publish the books?
I don't know. I really can't, because I can't say on the videos because they're edited and transferred via the father. I can't say everything to them that I want to say, but um, I find it impossible that my eldest son at least wouldn't know about it from the internet. I would find it difficult to think that he hasn't come across it or any of the information that I publicise.
I think they would know, even because the books they have the digital form, so I think they can could easily read the book, and
Yes.
and I'm sure that they must be very proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
They
That's so
must
lovely.
be very proud because it did stay in silence, and I think they must wonder, isn't it, that you are fighting for them and
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
feeling.
they'll know, like, despite all the lies that they're told, like, oh, mummy's confused, and this is a false belief system. Despite all the lies, it's like they know, because they were the ones who disclosed to me, and no matter how much they've been silenced, the truth is still the truth.
Yeah. When you went to the family court, was there any moment that you remember that for you was like the eureka moment that they are actually giving the children to the abuser?
No, I think if I'd have really have thought that, I would have escaped from the country, and I never thought that that would happen. I had heard about little bits about the family court, but I just thought, because I had the evidence that my children were drugged with date rape drugs, I just assumed that that would be enough, especially in the family court where they use a balance of probabilities. So naively, even when I felt things weren't going very well towards the end, I didn't think that the judge would remove my custody. I thought at worst that he would share custody with the father, and that would be a bridge I would have to cross when I got there. But I never thought he'd remove my custody.
Yeah. So when you're talking about the drugs, so um, when you have a piece of hair of the children and they go for testing, they can see that the child has been drugged, and they can actually see which chemicals they are in there.
Yes,
And from my understanding, it was a huge amount, or at least was the full hair, so that
yes.
go for many years. And what do they?
Not many years, because it's boys' hair, because it was shorter. Yes, for a girl's, if it was long hair, that would be many years. But yeah, 1 centimeter equals 1 month. So for my youngest son, that was 7 centimeters or 7 months, and for my eldest son, it was 5 centimeters or 5 months. And it showed drugs from root to tip. So
Yeah.
then the judge blamed it on me as a one off in December 2014. It's actually impossible, because it wouldn't have been throughout the hair. So again, this is how the family court works. So if any of your viewers, this is how easily an innocent parent can be given false findings with zero evidence.
Yes, zero evidence. There's only hearsay. In family court, there's only hearsay. People, they have no idea or how the things that happen in the family courts. They
Yeah,
have.
they don't need evidence, and when they do have real evidence, they ignore it. Like my eldest son gave an interview to the police describing how his father would inject him, and he even slumped down on the sofa to demonstrate the effects that it had on him, and he even said where the drugs were kept in the loft. So he gave all this evidence, and he was utterly ignored. My children were treated like dirt, and me. We were just completely. It was all about the paedophile father, and making sure that all of his rights were intact, and that he would just get away with it. Yeah, it's horrific.
And when your children, they describe the situation, they describe the father and other people, right?
Yes.
They describe it gay couples. They
Yeah.
describe many other men.
Yeah. They described paternal grandparents, so the grandfather and the grandmother, they were involved. A gay couple of two men were involved, and some band members as well of a band that he was in. Some of them, not all of them, were named, and then one of the wives was named in this with the band members as well. And then there was a couple of other people. Oh, and there was the housemate of my ex-husband as well. He was named as abusing just my youngest son. But yeah, there was they talked about rituals. Obviously, they don't say, "Oh, I was in a ritual." It's disjointed. It's bits of information that you put together.
Yeah.
But they talked about people wearing cloaks, and then I think my eldest son, he said he could see grandma's shoes sticking out from this person with a black cloak on. Just, but yeah, the first disclosures were the sexual abuse, and then it was through my youngest son how we realised it was satanic ritual abuse, and he was the one who said, "Daddy kills babies."
Samantha, like I said, my baby was taken and I don't know where he is, and that itself is horrendous.
Yeah.
And now after, I believe there is another level, is knowing that your children is being abused. And then there is another level, knowing that the father and the grandparents, they are involved, because they should be the ones that are protecting the children.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, if the grandparents, they are involved, I suppose that their son is just doing what the parents they were doing. So I don't know that this would be the practice that has been many years.
That's right.
Let me ask you this, and don't get me wrong, please. Do you think that your heart can bring your children to you, or these horrific thing? Do you think could be something that your children will carry on doing?
No, I mean, I don't think that everybody who's been abused goes on to an abuser. I don't believe that, and I also believe in God, and I believe in the power of prayer. And no, I don't. I do not believe that my boys will become abusers. They've had one good parent, or who wasn't an abuser. My ex-husband, he had two parents who abused him.
And
so they, yeah.
Yes, I believe that too. I keep my faith that I'm going to find my son, and I want to believe as well, Samantha, that you're going to be able to attract your children towards you, to the light, to the love. And I want to believe as well that love can heal everything.
Yes.
I really want to believe that too. My son is about 8 years old, and
what's he called? What did you call him?
Santiago.
Oh, I think I've been following. Is your husband online?
Yeah, Leon Edwards. Yeah.
Yeah, Leonette. Yeah, I thought that was your husband. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, bless you. I will be praying for you as well, and you and Santiago.
This has happened in Southampton, and it seems Southampton is very famous as well for the social service to kidnap the children. And now, I'm sure that you are aware of the case of Madeleine McCann.
Yes.
Yeah, that has happened in Portugal. And yeah, and that couple is from near Manchester, I believe.
I think she was from Liverpool, but he was from Scotland, I think. But I don't know where and then I think they may have lived somewhere in the Midlands, but I've not really looked into the history of that case much. But
yeah, so what I usually put my case next to theirs, because obviously I have not committed any crime. There is no evidence against me, but my baby has been taken. And obviously that couple, and it seems that there is a chance that the group together was doing sex. There is that saying.
Yeah.
There is that saying. And obviously they left the babies alone, because Madeleine was back 3 years old, and the twins, they were babies. And the social services in Portugal, they left the couple to go back to UK. But the English social services, they have done anything to the twins. So it's like there is future emotional risk for me when there is no evidence against me. But for them, they left the children alone in the house, but they haven't done anything, right? There is a chance that the father is from the masonry, because the people that they were involved. I think I know your answer, but why do you think there is such a big different treatment in between that couple, that English couple, and you? You are English as well. Why the social services, they behave towards way and towards them in such a different way?
Good question. I know what I think about them. I mean, it's just opinion, but I think it's as suspicious as anything what they've done, and I would dread to think what really happened there. And I know the Portuguese police were onto them, weren't they?
Yeah,
they were onto them, but very suspicious. And yeah, they could be, potentially they could be involved in some dodgy things. And yeah, sure, they've got connections, and it's being covered up, and they've been allowed to keep hold of their children. Yeah, I think it stinks, really.
it's if there is a divorce in between the parents, once they go to family courts.
Family court should just be there to deal with divorce and finances, nothing else.
I think they shouldn't be even exist.
No, you're right. Yeah, let's abolish them. Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree.
Yeah, because nothing should be in secret. Once it's in secret, it's hiding the corruption of the judges, of the social services, all of that, and people that have no idea what's going on in a family court.
Absolutely, yeah. People would just leave the country in the droves. England, it's just a secretly corrupt country, isn't it?
I never heard about forced adoption.
No.
I even today, for me, it's hard to believe that a system gives a baby with family to strangers.
Absolutely. They make a massive amount of money, don't they? They make thousands out of this. It's a multi-billion-pound industry where children are just commodities, and they're just earning a massive amount of money. My judge that I had, Judge Lee, he used to be the director of an adoption agency called Faith in Families in Nottingham for a few years. So he had an interest in taking children off parents and giving them to the adoption agency, who made thousands. He was also a child protection officer at the Catholic Diocese of Nottingham, which went over several counties. So he was obviously a gatekeeper for abuse disclosures. And he was also involved in the youth advocacy service. So that judge was extremely dodgy.
And did you notice that the people that they were involved in your case, the woman, the social services, they have pleasure in what they are doing, and they know exactly what they are doing.
They do. It's like they've selected, like in their selecting process, they go for people who are devoid of any empathy. Perhaps worse, because yeah, absolutely, they seem to get satisfaction from it, and most people would just think, I can't do this.
Yeah,
I cannot do this. I'm not taking these children. This parent is a good parent. The children are crying. There's absolutely no way a decent parent, a decent person, I mean, could do that. But these people don't have any consciences.
Yeah, but the police, they know exactly as well what is going on, and they know what they are doing, and they are for social services.
They are just working for social services and the police. They're not working for the people, are they?
No.
I don't trust the police as far as I can throw them now. It's opened my eyes to, it's a different world, isn't it, once you know. And it's
and I'm aware as well that the policewoman and the policeman, they are afraid of the social services, and in some cases they are threatened. If you don't do what we say, we go for your children.
Absolutely. Well, that was like John Wedger as well, wasn't it? That happened to him.
It's do you know any other cases? I know that obviously this is happening in America as well, But you think that England is the worst in the world?
I don't know. I think equally as bad as I think it's all the westernized countries that England, America, Canada, and Australia, Ireland. But yeah, probably more actually. But they seem equally as bad when you connect with people from all corners of the world and hear the stories. It's pretty much the same system that is going on, and it's actually the less developed countries that are actually safer, I think, for children.
Yes, and in the last interview I had with I don't remember his name now, and from Norway, and I always have heard about Bernevnet, and people they have an idea that Norway is a very developed country and it's all very good, but little people know that actually is they cannot even scream for help. You know,
Wow.
in Portugal, like I said, I was on the news. In Norway, people they have no possibility to go on the news on screaming for help. None of that.
Yeah.
None of that. Do you feel that the people they are more aware of these situations because of the TikTok? There is a lot of adoptees. I feel that a lot of adoptees they are having voice on TikTok and
Yeah.
demanding more their rights and expressing that adoption is it's a crime against them. Do you think?
Yeah, people are speaking out, and even children are speaking out that have come of age now, and they've escaped the clutches of the family court system, and they're speaking out about what has happened to them. So yeah, good on them, really. It's that's the good thing about social media. It gives us a platform, and it gives the children a platform to share these stories and to raise awareness.
Yeah.
Because without it, the press aren't going to do anything as much as they'd like to. It's recently they've started to allow the press in some of the family court cases in America. Sorry, in England, piloted scheme, but I very much doubt that there'd be any serious cases. In my opinion, I don't think they would dream about letting any reporters in on a cases similar to mine.
You are living in near Manchester now?
I don't actually disclose where I'm living because of like safety
Yeah.
reasons. But I'm from Manchester originally,
Okay.
Rochdale.
Are you in UK or out?
Oh yeah, I'm in the UK. I'm still here, yeah, because my children are here as well. I can't just
No.
oh
Yeah.
my children live here, so I can't
Yeah.
just leave them.
When they took Santiago, I asked for the help of the Portuguese government, and I came to Portugal to do a protest.
Sure.
And then I was contacted by an English journalist, and she said, if you go back, you're going to be arrested for everything that you are publicizing.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, and obviously it was not safe, and I know that many
No.
people they are in prison.
Yes. No. You can't risk that. No, I completely understand in your situation. Yeah, where you can go back to your country and then just you shout out loud. You'd just be utterly gagged here. You won't be able to say any of the names or anything. With my situation, because I was on the news, because I ran with my children, the names are all out there. But I don't like say my children's names or the
Yeah.
surname or my ex's name. But all the other information is actually out there, so people know what happened and they know what my allegations were. So I'm not actually, but I know the authorities hate it if you name social workers and things like that. There's so many people who've been imprisoned for just naming a social worker. So yeah, I understand why you.
Samantha, do you agree that the fact that you are public is something that actually gives you more security?
I think I think yeah, it seemed to be my only option. It was like, yeah, and I just think it's helped to keep the boys safe as well,
Yeah.
because he has to pretend to be this decent father now because oh, this crazy woman and she's making up all these allegations and she's confused and everything. He has to keep up that veneer of pretending to be a decent father. So I think it's and I needed to what's the word, vindicate myself as well, because otherwise it could be quite dangerous. You know, I'm this woman who's made up abuse allegations and drug my children, according to the press. So I had to come up, you know, do my best to just clear my name and just to get my lie detector test published and speak openly and answer any questions that people could just decide for themselves. And hopefully, you know, luckily many have, you know, have seen the truth and supporting the campaign. And
Yes, and I think it's amazing the work that you have been doing, and I give I get more strength even when I'm speaking, and I feel that if I don't do YouTube's for a month, it's lacking something. I need to do it. I need to give voice. It's like stronger than me, you know, giving voice to my son and to other families, and encouraging other mothers to not do what they want, that is to keep in silence. They have to speak. And even like nearly on what we say is the worst they have done already. They have taken our baby. So there is nothing else that they can do. Even if they arrest, you know, they could arrest me. It's not my problem. The only issue is that I want to give a voice to my son. I want to track him out. So I want people to not feel afraid of what they are doing or what they can do, because we are so many more. We are hundreds of families, hundreds of children that they are destroying the lives. And, you know, we cannot just, I know that it's horrendous. I know that there is days, better days and worse days, but still we have to give voice to our children and believe that the future day is going to be much better, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. We have to have faith and just keep strong. And yeah, like you said as well, it, you know, speaking out it just encourages others as well, because people would feel so alone and just think, oh, is it just me? But then people like us speaking out and having platforms and things, I think it's very encouraging, and it shows that there's a community of us out there, you know, trying to get the truth out.
And this is the worst that we can do to them.
Yes, the hate exposure. What's the worst? Yeah, absolutely. And show that we've got the strength to do it, and just, you know, showing ourselves as just being normal mums, and, you know, just, yeah, they hate it. They absolutely hate it.
Yes, because they have done their best to destroy our souls.
Yeah.
But we are still here.
Absolutely.
They have done the worst torture. They have tortured mentally, physically, and I'm still here, and I will carry on, you know. Absolutely. And I want all the mothers to join together and to not feel afraid of speaking, because we are so many and we have so much force together. I think even if I cannot be in England, otherwise I would just do justice on my own way, and I cannot do that for my son, you know.
Yeah, no, you're doing the right thing, Iolanda, definitely. It's you know, and he will want to meet his real mum and dad one day. Well, he will do now, I'm sure, but you don't know what he's been told or anything, do you? But, you know, he will, you know, I have faith that you'll find him and he'll find you.
Yes, I really hope. Probably he's still in Southampton. I don't believe he was adopted, because I have done my best to publish his face everywhere on the social media, so no family would want a kidnapped baby.
Yes.
It was a way to protect him as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
They have written that even on the court papers, that it was a high-profile baby, so that's good, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
A way to protect him, yeah. Regarding your book, Samantha, your first one, it seems, is a success.
It did amazing, because it's just staggering really how that happened. Yeah, it's delightful, because I self-published it, So I've not got like a bookshop or a publisher. I've literally just like me, my platforms, and just sharing it, and people were buying it, and you know, friends bought it off me, and then Facebook friends, and then the audience just spread from there. And then I was yeah, I just put it on Amazon, and yeah, it's done incredibly well. Yeah, I think I've got one. Yeah, one's here. That's the first book.
Yes. Thank you for sharing. Everything is going to be okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I would always say to the boys as well. That's why I called it that.
Yeah.
And then this next one.
Pretended justice.
Yeah, and that's the one I've just released
Yeah.
a week ago.
Very good. How far will they go to protect the lie? How far did they go?
Oh, as far as they can go to protect the lie, because it's like the family court, and then it's like psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, CAFCAS, police. It's like the web of, as you know, the web of lies. It's like, this is the truth. It's like the emperor's new clothes. This is what happened. And if, you know, so it's that lie that, you know, they're protecting that lie in their version of events, which is absolutely false.
That's
So
amazing.
it's just, yeah, it just exposed, like the first one talks about, it's done as a fictional novel, so it talks about a character called Amanda and her children, and it was her children's disclosures, meeting her ex-husband back 20 years ago, and then having children, and then their lives, and then one night her eldest son discloses, and then talks about all of that right up until the point when she hid with them, and then the police found them. And then the pretended justice picks up from where that left off, because there was much more to Amanda's story from 7 years ago. It ended, and then it just carries on with all the state bodies got involved to perpetuate the lie, and through the family court system.
When the people they write the reviews, or when they go back to you to give the feedback, are they aware of Samantha Baldwin and the true story of Samantha?
I think most people are. I mean, there will be some readers on Amazon who maybe don't, but I do put on the description about the author description, my story. So, but maybe some people just think it's just a random story based on nothing. But yeah, I think most people know the story behind it, and I think when you've got restrictions, you have to come up with creative ways of exposing the system, don't you? And writing a fictional novel was the way I kind of want, you know, is like my calling really to do.
Because you are gagged, you cannot write about your true story on
No, I'd like to be able to write my story one day as an biography, and have a publisher and be able to get that everywhere. That would be good to do that. But yeah, right now I'm not in a position to be able to, unfortunately. So I just write fictional novels.
I think when they will be back with you, you will be able to write a happy title and do that book.
Absolutely, yeah. Someone else said the same the other day, suggesting it be called Reunited.
Yeah, so it's going to happen then.
yeah, definitely. Definitely, yeah. The third book will be a positive one, an amazing miracle. Yeah.
Yes, Samantha. It's you are a very inspiring woman, very inspiring mother. The force you have is amazing, and the things that you have been doing is amazing. Yeah, obviously you had a happy grown up, a happy childhood, and that's what gives you the strength, because you have self-love, and that's how you get that strength. And I had the same, you know, my mum and my dad, they are everything for me, and I know who I am, I know my values, and I knew from the beginning what is correct and what is wrong, and I knew that they were kidnapping my son, and I haven't done anything. So, you know, sometimes I can feel like people, they are like, who does she think she is? And I know who I am, I know what's correct and what is wrong.
Yes.
And I would hope that most of the people, everyone, you know, they would just stand for themselves. And you know, when you have a nurse demanding for you to open the door because you want to see your baby, and I said I came from the hospital, you know, to rest, so book an appointment. you know, I am entitled to have my own privacy, and people, they judge me. Who does she think she is? You know, she works in health. She knows that she has to open the door. You don't have to open the door.
No, it's good to say no sometimes, isn't it?
And I just wish people, they would stand for themselves and they don't fight that this is so, I'm not being difficult. I thought I was entitled to have my own privacy.
Absolutely, of course
I
you are.
thought, but at the end, I was even judged for so little things, even for just for my teeth. That
Wow, you can just be judged for literally in family court. It's you can't do once it gets to a certain when they've made a decision. You can't do anything right. You could be the most perfectly behaved person, and they would pick at something. They just pick at anything because that's their job. It's
but
horrific.
Samantha, this is from social media, because in court there is absolutely nothing on me.
Yeah.
There is nothing. Once they took the baby, that's it. It's done. Papers, they were done for adoption, and that's it. They don't discuss it. There is
Awful. If
nothing.
people knew, it's like when like we kind of same as we kind of manipulated into trusting the police. It's if people knew who they were adopting, the lies they were probably told. Oh, these poor children, but this child was taken off an unfit parent. If they only knew that these are stolen children,
Yeah.
No matter what they've been told, and it's probably just 5% of parents who are unfit parents who are abusers or whatever, but the rest of them
Yeah.
certainly wouldn't, is it? But if people knew that they were actually stealing someone else's child.
Yeah, but after there is like, they do so many other things, in the movies that perpetrate their story of the adoption, of that the mothers, they are bad.
Yes, they
At
do.
social services, they are doing the good. They put these everywhere, so the people, they can't see the truth.
That's right. People are conditioned through Hollywood movies, aren't they? And yeah, everywhere we look, it's conditioning everywhere.
Yeah. Samantha, thank you so much for this time that you gave it to share your story with people that are watching this YouTube channel. And Samantha, I will get the book. I will
Thank you.
read your story, and hopefully we will speak again when there is a third book.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for having me on, Iolanda. And I have faith that you will get your miracle as well in the future.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the best for you, Samantha. We'll keep in touch, okay?
Yes, definitely. Take care.
Carry on your good work. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye. You too. Bye bye.